My name is Jared James. If you aren't familiar with me, I'm best known as an entrepreneur that gets the unique opportunity to coach and train agents and brokers in the real estate world and speak at conferences in front of thousands of people. But it wasn't always that way for me. What separates me from so many others is that I've actually done everything that I want you to be able to do. For that reason, this is the place to come if you want to learn the strategies needed to succeed in today's marketplace. This is the Jared James Today Show.
Hey guys, Jared James here, and welcome to episode 29 of the Jared James Today Show. Thank you so much for watching, as always, guys. If you enjoy this episode, give it a thumbs up like so many of you have been doing. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, means the world to me, and share it with someone you think will benefit. I mean, let's face it, guys, this is free content, so thank you to all of you that are watching these in your office meetings and otherwise. I think today's episode is one that you guys will not only enjoy, but you actually need, okay? And today we're going to talk about how you adjust to the shift in the real estate market. And so depending on where you live all over North America, the world, wherever, you've seen different things that are happening, but I think there's a shift happening all over the place. And so we're going to talk about that today. But the main thing that I really want you to understand is that in every market, in every place, in every whatever, there are different opportunities. And your job as a professional is to figure out where those opportunities are and to capitalize on them. You know, I'm about to actually shoot a podcast, and I just put this on Instagram where I talked about how entrepreneurship, which is what you are, you're an entrepreneur, I hope that you recognize that, is a meritocracy, which basically means the cream rises to the top, that there's enough room for the talented, that the talented always win. And so this is a market, when we're starting to shift now, where that's going to happen with people, and I'll talk about that in a little bit as far as what that means for you, but for a lot of you, that should make you really happy, okay? So I'm actually going to talk about 6 different things, 6 different opportunities, 6 different things that we need to be doing to adjust to the shift in the real estate market right now. And this is one where you're going to want to share this with your agents, you're going to want to share this with your friends, unless you don't want them to do well in this industry, but this is one where you're going to want to share with people, okay? So the first thing that we want to understand when there's a shift in the marketplace is that this is a great opportunity right now. And by the way, for some of you, let's be very clear before I even go into that. When I say shift in the marketplace, what I mean is that forever I've been hearing from so many of you, that no matter what happens, there's little inventory, buyers are getting outbid, there's just not enough inventory. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And a lot of you are seeing that now shift. That's what's called a seller's market, okay? That's basically where the sellers have control, prices are continuing to increase and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that won't continue to happen, but we're definitely starting to see a shift right now where it's not at the level that it was months ago, years ago, whatever. That's the shift that I'm talking about, okay? And so the first thing that we want to understand when this starts to shift is that this creates an amazing opportunity to get potential sellers into the marketplace, to get them off the fence, meaning your seller leads, okay? All those people you've been trying to reach out to who have been on the fence that aren't really sure if they want to sell, aren't really sure, those kinds of things. Now is when you want to be calling or contacting, however you have, all of those potential seller leads that you've got over the last 6, 12, 24 months. Because now you have a lead in. You know that when I teach people about lead conversion, I always say that if you can, you want to dangle the carrot. You want to have something that makes them come to you. And now you have that. Now you're able to reach out to them. You're able to send out a mass text. You're able to do whichever way you want to do and say, hey, if you're still even considering selling in the next 12 months, even considering it, there's something going on that I need to let you know about. That's what's called dangling the carrot, okay? And now you're able to educate them. What do I need to know about? What's going on? And you can tell them what's going on in the marketplace and what's happening with supply and demand, and you can start having that conversation and really coming from the place of an expert, but now you have a lead in to do that. The other thing you want to do when I say that it's a great opportunity for potential people who are looking to sell to get them off the fence, don't forget to contact your database. Like, now is the time to contact your database. And really, however you want to do this is really up to you. Whether that means you use a system that does a mass text out to everybody and you're saying, hey, if you're even thinking of selling the next 12 to 24 months, you need to reach out to me right away, or something like that. Whether that means you put something up on Facebook or Instagram or somewhere on there and you say, hey, if you know anyone even considering selling in the next 24 months, I have information they may want. Let me know right away. And you're doing these kinds of things and you're piquing their interest and you're going, shoot, me and Tommy have been thinking about it. Me and Nan have been thinking, me and, whatever. And they're starting to have this and they're going, and now they're DMing you direct message, if you don't know what a DMA is. They're direct messaging you and they're going like, what do you mean, what's going on? And now you're able to either share an article that talks about what's going on, which gives you credibility, because when you attach yourself to an article through Forbes or through the whatever it happens to be, now it also makes you look like an expert. But it's like, look, this isn't my opinion. I'm not just dangling the carrot to get your attention. This is what's going on right now. So you attach yourself to that. This is the time that you're able to do that, okay? The second thing that this does for you right now with the market starting to shift is that this is a great opportunity to go for price reductions. All those sellers that have been unrealistic, now is the time where you can again attach yourself to some kind of an article or something like that, which is going to give you strength in not just numbers but also in content. But now is also when you want to be using things like absorption rates. And absorption rates, for any of you that don't know, if you just figure out in the last 12 months how many properties have sold in your area, that will tell you, if you divide that by 12, it'll tell you how many properties sell per month. So let's just, I'm using easy math right now, but let's just say there was 144 properties that sold. There's 12 months, that's 12 properties a month. That's probably not easy math, actually, now that I think about it. And in your area, they probably sold a lot more. But I'm just giving you an example that means if there's 12 they're going to sell per month, and there are 60 properties on the market right now, that means there's 5 months of inventory. It means that your property is going to take 5 months at minimum to sell. And so use these absorption rates, because when you use these absorption rates and you're able to say, hey, based on how many are out there, you're priced correctly, but so are these other 60 houses or whatever the number happens to be, it's going to take 5 months. And based on what's happening right now in the marketplace, your price point right now may not be where it's going to be in 5 months. So do you want to get ahead of the market, or do you want to keep chasing the market? Because if you want to keep chasing the market, it's a losing battle, because you're going to chase the market right off a cliff. You understand? Now, I'm not saying it's going off a cliff, but I'm just using an example to show you that chasing a market is never a good idea, because you don't know where it's going. You'd rather get ahead of the market and ultimately put yourself in a position where you can sell now, which is the known, opposed to waiting and waiting and waiting and going with the unknown, okay? And this isn't just opinion. This is based on stats and absorption rates and what's going on and supply and demand and all of those kinds of things, okay? The next opportunity is that it means that FSBOs, a change in the market means that FSBOs will be more realistic, okay? Because they have to be. Now, we already know that 83% of all FSBOs, by the way, FSBO is for sale by owner, if you're a new area agent watching right now, for sale by owner, FSBO, fastest and shortest business opportunity, whatever you want to call it. 83% of them sell through an agent. And the reason they don't sell through an agent to start with is because of money. They don't want to pay out a commission. They don't want to. The stats, the gaps between those two have actually increased. For sale by owners are at an over 30-year low. The gap used to be the average home sold for $180,000 when not listed by an agent. It was $216,000 when listed by an agent. That number now is $190,000 and $238,000. Okay, so the gap has actually widened. But now what's going to happen is as properties become more and more difficult to sell, those FSBOs are going to have an even more difficult time selling, which means that you have an opportunity, okay? Which means you need to go watch my Jared James Today show on how to get FSBOs to list with you, okay? Because now is the time when you want to start taking advantage of that strategy. The next opportunity that comes with a shift in the market is expireds and past expireds. They're great business right now, okay? Because what happens is, think about it this way, guys. With expired properties, who usually sells them? The second agent, right? And in almost every single situation, it was the first agent's fault, even though the second agent lists it for a lower price. But it was the first agent's fault, okay? So now is the time you want to start using those strategies we teach you, like the Payday candy bar campaign, where instead of just going out and calling an expired and saying, I see that you expired and your property expired, and there are many reasons why a property doesn't sell. One of them is your agent, and just doing what everyone is doing all across the globe. Instead, you send them, you get from Amazon or Costco or wherever, a big thing of those snack-size Payday candy bar campaigns. You send out to the expireds in the area, or the expireds from 2 years ago with the Still Want to Sell campaign. Our coaching students know what I'm talking about. But you send those out. You send them in first-class mail, so they have to sign for it. Cost you a few dollars, right? And now what happens is that you send that to them, they have to sign for it, they open it up, and there's our letter that all our coaching students use that basically says, hey, I noticed that your property had expired. There's many reasons why that can happen. As you noticed, it's very difficult to stand out in the crowd when there's so many other properties that are available. It's an issue that I now face myself with so many other agents that are contacting you, but I'm hoping that this small example that I know how to stand out will also show you that I know how to help your property stand out. I hope that the next time that I get the opportunity to produce a payday in your life is because I actually get to sell your home. And it says something like that, but you're being unique now, you're being different, and you're standing out from the crowd, and they remember you, and now they give you an opportunity, because visibility always trumps ability. Being an option always trumps being the best. This is one way that you get in front of people doing that. This is when these techniques really start to come in handy, okay? So expireds, old expireds from 2 years ago, or even sooner, are a great opportunity right now. Hey, do you still want to sell? The market may be at its top. You may not be aware, but the last 2 years, and I won't go into it all right now, but that's another campaign that we have for you that right now there's a great opportunity for that you all should be leveraging, because this is no longer going to be a market where you can sit back and just, hey, collect offers, hey, start writing contracts, hey, I'm a great salesperson. No. You were great at getting your license and then just throwing yourself into the market. There's a different thing running a business and being a great real estate salesperson, okay? Another opportunity that we have right now is the opportunity to talk to buyers who have been frustrated. How many of you have sent me messages because every time my buyer makes an offer, there's a million other offers, and they're getting frustrated, and they've decided to just stop looking because they're tired of getting outbid, okay? Now is the opportunity for that to happen. It's also an opportunity when you figure that the Fed didn't raise rates. Because if we start to see what I think is happening in the market right now, and that shift starts occurring and prices start to come down a little bit, what do you think the Fed is going to do with those rates? And now a property that is very similarly priced but is now 5,000 less or 10,000 less, they're going to pay a quarter or more % on it, and that in the end costs them more money than it does right now. Okay, so this is just called being an expert, which really leads me to my last opportunity that we have with a shift in the market, which is the opportunity to be an expert. See, you should be doing your research right now. I actually, when I was an agent, I liked it when markets shifted. I liked it when it was difficult. I liked it because I, as a pro, again, entrepreneurialism is a meritocracy. Business is a meritocracy. I knew my talent would rise to the top, that my work would rise to the top, and I liked it when not everyone can make it. And all of you that have been upset about sellers and other people questioning your commissions and questioning what you do for them and questioning all that kind of stuff, a changing market actually allows you to be an expert when you're an expert. If you're not an expert, then this is just going to fall on deaf ears, right? It's going to fall on ears that can't hear what I'm trying to say right now. But for those of you that are actually an expert, or those of you that decide to put the work in to be an expert, you now have an amazing opportunity to stand out from the crowd. You know, when I first started in this business, even just getting into speaking and training and everything else, it was at a time when speakers and events and everything were dropping off. People weren't paying speakers. People weren't doing big events anymore. People didn't know if they were worth it. People didn't know. And everybody's like, what are you doing? That's the worst thing to get into right now. Like, what is going on? Ultimately, I was fortunate enough that entrepreneurialism is a meritocracy, because the talented always win. The ones who outwork and keep doing that will always win. This is a market coming up right now that, from a guy who runs a coaching company, I'm happy about. Because the type of coaching people that we work with and that I want to work with going forward and that we want to sign up are not just the ones who are doing great, they have money to throw around and they make themselves feel good about signing up for coaching. It's the ones who actually need coaching, need accountability on a regular basis, put that into place, and then are able to outperform the people around them because of the work and the education and the training, the accountability and everything else that they have. This is a market where that actually matters, which I think is fantastic and I get excited about, because to me it's not about the masses of numbers. Just like for you in real estate, it shouldn't be about the masses of numbers of people around you. It's about a meritocracy. Who is ultimately going to win? And I am hoping for everyone watching right now that if you're willing to invest the time to watch me, that's you. Okay? So if you enjoy this, or really what I want you to do, because I want a little feedback on this, if you are starting to see a shift in the market, I want you to type yes below, okay? If you aren't yet, I want you to write not yet or no. And I want to just kind of see what everybody's feeling. Write yes or no and write where you're from, okay? Because I know we have people from all over the world that watch this, so I want to know in each area what's going on. And for me, that's going to tell me a little bit about what's happening in each marketplace as well, because I love to stay on, especially doing events all over the place. I love to stay I keep my finger on the pulse of what's actually happening. So do that, guys. Give this a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment, subscribe, share it with someone that needs to hear it, guys. You guys keep watching these. I'll keep making them. Thank you so much for watching today. Hey there, you, and I am talking to you in particular, person that made it to the end of my video. It means the world to me. But if you made it to the end, I'm hoping that you'll take a second and subscribe right here. Make sure you share that with all your friends, by the way. They're in real estate, sales, entrepreneurial, whatever it happens to be. By the way, if you're looking for a speaker for your upcoming event, click right here to get some more information. And as usual, if you have a question you want me to personally respond, just connect on social. You can click right over here and see all the platforms I'm on. I hope to hear from you soon. Have a great one.